On today's date, we actually held a disciplinary review hearing involving the officer-involved shooting involving Officer Geoffrey Freeman, and Mr. David Joseph. After reviewing all the facts and circumstances in this case, the department has sustained unanimously, with the recommendation of the chain of command, the following violations of departmental policy. Austin Police Department Policy 200.1, response to resistance. Austin Police Department Policy 200.2, response to resistance. Austin Police Department Policy 200.2.1, response to resistance, objective reasonableness. Austin Police Department Policy 321.4, substance-induced excited delirium. And Austin Police Department Policy 900.4.3, H as in Henry, general conduct and responsibilities, specifically neglect of duty. I think it's important for folks to understand that based on the totality of the circumstances, the chain unanimously did not feel that the officer's use of deadly force under the circumstances meets the objectively reasonable standard. And consequently, after sustaining all of these policy violations unanimously, the chain and myself concurring have indefinitely suspended Officer Freeman. Our review has to be based on an objective reasonable standard, and we unanimously do not believe that his use of deadly force was justified in this case. Some people might want to demonize our officer. Officers are human beings. They make good decisions, they make poor decisions. In this case, as it relates to the officer's actions in this case, we don't believe they're consistent with the standards, the training, and the procedures of the Austin Police Department. Please know that this case is ongoing in terms of the criminal piece. I'm certain, based on what I've heard from the officers' defense reps, that they are going to appeal this decision, which is their absolute right to do. We are confident that we will absolutely be able to withstand an appeal in this matter. I urge people to not demonize a person. Officer Freeman is a person that, but for this horrible set of circumstances, he served honorably. But based on this set of circumstances, we don't believe he needs to remain on the department. Our hearts go out to the Joseph family, as we said before. I've communicated with the Joseph family. I've talked to the Joseph family since this incident, and our hearts go out to David Joseph's family. While indefinite suspension is a civil service term for firing, he has been indefinitely suspended, and again, it was a unanimous recommendation of the chain, and ultimately it's my decision and boxed up with me. I agree that it's the appropriate discipline in this case. And so because he has the right to appeal, and I'm certain he will appeal, they have 10 days to file an appeal. It does not become technically a firing until the arbitrator upholds the indefinite suspension. So right now he's indefinitely suspended without pay, pending a hearing and pending a final ruling from the arbitrator. To say that I'm politically motivated, I've been here for almost 9 years now, and if anybody knows this chief, it's them. We make our decisions based on the facts, based on the evidence, based on policy, based on the law, not based on which way the wind's blowing, whether it's the community who wants something one way or it's labor that wants something one way. Sometimes labor is ecstatic and sometimes they're not. Sometimes a union is ecstatic, the community is ecstatic, and sometimes they're not. My job is not to take a poll. My job is to make a call. That call has been made. It was made unanimously, and I stand by it. Thank you very much.